Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a school district in our region makes a plan to keep kids safe while they get their education. And a Kentucky university gets some funding to help students feel a bit safer while roaming the campus.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Keaton Hall. The time is just before 6 a.m. Dakota Makers, he's off today. Brandon Robinson also off, but we do have Cameron Aaron, so let's throw it over to him.
Yeah, good morning to you, Keaton, and good morning to everybody at home. It's a nice start to your Wednesday, but we are tracking some changes as we get later on into today in terms of warm temperatures and in terms of possible stronger storms. But this morning, check this out. This amazing sunrise over at I-64 in Moorhead. Absolutely gorgeous this morning. Temperatures not bad in the upper 50s to upper 60s, 67 in Prestonsburg, 64 for Somerset, 57 over in Harlan, and 63 for Hazard and Wise. All is quiet on radar this morning, and this quiet weather does continue for the first half of your Wednesday, but we are tracking possible showers and storms later on into this evening and into tonight. It is going to be another warm day across the mountains with temperatures reaching those middle and lower 90s. Now, some of those storms could be strong to severe. I have that full forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Cameron. The rollout of Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines for children under the age of 5 has begun. WYMT's Alyssa Williams talked with infectious disease specialists and child care experts to learn more about the impact this rollout could have on the state of the virus.
18 months following the initial distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine for adults, children of all ages are now eligible to get vaccinated.
This is great news, actually, and we've been waiting for this for a long time.
The CDC and the FDA have both approved the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, with the Pfizer vaccine offering 3 doses, while Moderna offers 2.
Any level of protection that we can give our children is always a good thing, and we're just very excited that this is now an option and available for our children and families.
Assistant Director of LKLP Head Start in Hazard, Justin Collett, says COVID has prevented several families from enrolling their kids in early Head Start and Head Start, so he hopes vaccine eligibility can change that.
We just hope that now that more measures are in place to protect our children, that more families will send their children to Head Start and early Head Start, because early childhood education is just so important.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Ferris Cotter says he believes this announcement can push us toward potential herd immunity.
If we vaccinate all the adults and we leave the children unvaccinated, the children are still a reservoir for the virus to infect adults. So in order to reach herd immunity and reach a certain level of immunity in the population, you have to vaccinate everybody, including the children.
Hoping to create a happier and healthier society, one vaccine at a time. Alyssa Williams, WYMT, Mountain News.
Dr. Carter says that you'll find similar side effects in the children's vaccine as the one for the adults, including fatigue, headache, and redness and swelling of the injection site. He adds that you should always consult your child's primary care physician or pediatrician to learn which vaccine is best suited for them. Senator Rand Paul was in Simpson County Tuesday morning. He was there to hear about issues important to the community. He also discussed his efforts in the Senate. Senator Paul also spoke on the approval of vaccines for children under 5, saying that most kids that have had COVID have developed immunity.
Even kids who haven't had COVID, who get it for the first time, the death rate's 1 in 2 million. There's a lot of ways to keep our kids safe, but COVID's not one of them for our kids. We need to not be mandating it, and parents need to be able to make their own choice.
Senator Paul says he asked Dr. Anthony Fauci last week if a child who already had COVID needed to get the vaccine or if the risks outweigh the benefits. He claims Dr. Fauci never answered him. With a string of school shootings in recent history, the 2022 Kentucky legislature took up a bill looking to address campus security. But meeting the requirements of that legislation may not prove easy for every school district. WYMT's Zach Hawk has more on how 2 regional districts are approaching the problem and the challenges each faces.
House Bill 63 mandates school districts assign a school resource officer, or SRO, on every campus in every district across the Commonwealth. Laurel County Schools Superintendent Doug Bennett says he supports any safety measure to protect students.
We want to remove obstacles. We want to remove distractions so that students and staff can focus on the mission of a school system, and that is teaching and learning.
To comply with the order by the August 1st deadline, Laurel County Schools will hire 20 full-time SROs, creating its own police department. But officials acknowledge it's not cheap. Officers may cost upwards of $60,000 to $80,000 a year and require significant training.
Now, this is an unfunded mandate with limited time, very limited time, but regardless, we're going to make that happen.
In smaller counties, the challenge with complying is even harder. Letcher County Schools Superintendent Denise Yance is all for the safety measures, but says time is the least of her concerns.
We can build in our budget. It will take us longer, take us more than a year to build in 7 new positions. But if I had the money today, I couldn't find the 7 people.
She says it is challenging finding the right people to hold a position of trust in the school.
It takes a special officer to be an SRO, to work in a school building with children of all ages, dealing with what happens on a daily basis in that building, and then to protect them and have that relationship with them. It takes a special person. You can't just pull any officer to be an SRO.
Yance says they will do everything they can to comply with the mandate, including working with the Kentucky Center for School Safety. Zach Hawk, WYMT, Mountain News.
Schools are required to comply with the order of assigning an SRO on every campus by August 1st or report a plan to accomplish this to Kentucky's school security marshal if they cannot. Yesterday, Governor Andy Beshear announced new money for safety upgrades at Eastern Kentucky University. The governor awarded $369,000 to the school. It'll pay for a new 6-foot wide sidewalk and more lighting on campus. The sidewalk will also feature new ramps that comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The governor says this will not only help people who have accessibility issues, but it's also going to help the environment.
This project helps protect our people and the students and faculty at EKU. On top of that, it's going to help people be healthy and benefit the environment by providing an easy way to get to and from campus without needing to take a bus or a car.
And a federal program is covering 80% of the cost of these upgrades. A major milestone in the construction of Baptist Health Hamburg in Lexington. Hospital leaders held a topping off ceremony Tuesday morning at the new site on Polo Club Boulevard. You can see the crews replacing the steel beam at the highest point of the facility. They broke ground on the new outpatient surgery and medical campus 7 months ago. The goal is to provide more services to those who live in surrounding counties. About 60% of Baptist Health's Lexington patients come from outside Fayette County.
Although today we're officially topping off a building, there's really no limit to the amount of good that will happen here at this new Baptist campus.
Phase 1 of the Baptist Health Hamburg is scheduled to be completed in spring of 2024. UK Healthcare is also working to build a medical campus in Hamburg. Officials entered an agreement to purchase the land where the Meadowcrest Mansion used to stand on the corner of Winchester Road along I-75. They made the announcement Friday. UK Healthcare says the campus will have a medical office building and other clinical facilities. It could have a regional hospital facility as well. UK says Hamburg is fast growing and they're ensuring medical access is conveniently located for patients. An empty lot in North Lexington will turn into the site of 12 youth soccer fields and later potentially a 6,000-seat soccer stadium. Nearly 150 acres between Newtown Pike and Russell Cave Road in Lexington could become the Lexington Sporting Club's destination for their complex. But as Chad Hedrick explains, neighbors whose land could be impacted voicing their concerns about their plans.
Barbara Pool's life is around the horses that come to Newtown Station layover and making sure they have a quiet and calming place to stay.
I'm not interested in lights and traffic. I'm not interested in loud noises and fireworks.
Barbara says she's afraid all of that is coming with plans to develop youth soccer fields and later the Lexington Sporting Club's 6,000-seat stadium right behind her land.
My first reaction is that's not what this property was designed for. It wasn't what it was zoned for. It's supposed to be economic development, which is offices, warehouses.
The Lexington Sporting Club says the site in question is ideal for building practice and competition venues in close proximity, which would enhance the experience for our youth and professional players. They add the location also fits their vision of creating a stadium geared toward a fan-friendly match day atmosphere. But Barbara worries about the peace it will cost the area.
5 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes you can't get out of my driveway, and I cater to semis all across the United States and Canada, and sometimes they can't get on the road. Having horses in a hot trailer sitting in your driveway is not ideal.
According to design renderings, the youth fields will go up in an area where a horse racing training track stands now. The only access to the complex would be from Newtown Pike to Providence Place Parkway.
I have some concerns on what it's going to do with my business and the safety of my horses when we have crowds of people in and out.
Right now, the youth fields are the only things up for immediate discussion. Officials are waiting on approval of a conditional use permit with the Urban County Board of Adjustment, claiming the fields fall under the agricultural zoning. The spot is already appointed.